I met a woman who was boondocking in her Class C. She said her rig was a diesel pusher and that sometimes she mooch docked. Whenever she traveled, she had her towed on a dolly. She didn't have a sticks and bricks, but she still considered herself a snowbird because she followed the good weather. When I met her, she was pulling her honey wagon to the dump station.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Did you understand what she just said? If you didn't, then this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Felix.
And I'm Cindy.
In 2019, we sold everything and moved into our RV full-time.
Since then, we've been traveling the country following my nursing contracts. On this channel, we hope to help others to find their path to the RV life. We are the Roaming Gomes.
Welcome back to the channel. For those of you new around here, I'm Felix.
I'm Cindy.
And we are the Roaming Gomes, and we are actually recording this on my beautiful, talented, extremely beautiful wife's birthday. So everybody, wish Cindy a happy birthday. For a little while, she's the same age as me. But we had a good week.
Yeah, we did.
We did. We had a really good week. We had to go to Prescott, and that's something we both learned. It's not pronounced Prescott. It's Prescott. It doesn't look like Prescott, but hey.
That's how they say it, and we want to be real Arizonans, so.
Yeah, when in Arizona, do as the Arizonans do. So we had to go to Prescott because that's the nearest bank branch that we use. And we had to get replacement cards because of a fraudulent thing, but any of that is kind of irrelevant. But we made a day of it and got a chance to walk around Prescott, look around. You got to that bookstore.
Yeah, the Peregrine bookstore, that was nice.
Yeah, and we got to go to Watson Lake, which, you know, back when we went to Sedona for the first time and we saw the red rocks for the first time, the both of us said it was like kind of an otherworldly experience.
Yeah.
It was not of this world. And quite honestly, that is the same kind of feeling that we got when we got to Watson Lake.
There's so much, there's rocks, but they're not red rocks, and they're rounded. And of course, you'll put pictures in here of what it looks like, but it's very different, and it has a very different feel. It's very quiet. We went to the lake is kind of in a park, and they're building some new playground equipment there when we were there. So very family friendly. There is some camping there around the lake, but it's just beautiful. I do a lot of research whenever we're going somewhere. I just kind of go on Pinterest, go on the internet, see what there is, things to do in Prescott, and found out that Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday actually lived in Prescott for a while. There's a place called Whiskey Row. It's Montezuma Boulevard is the name of the street, but they call it Whiskey Row because back in the gold mining days when the gold rush was happening, this was apparently an area that was very busy. And there was one block that had 40 saloons on it at the time. Some of those places are still there.
They did a lot of drinking.
Yeah. Well, they were out in the heat gold mining, I guess. They wanted a cool one when they got finished. But it said a lot of gold miners, of course. How did it put it? Bawdy women is what the website says. Bawdy women.
Bawdy women.
And so there were a lot of saloons there, up to 40 on that one block. And some of those are still there that you can go in and see now and eat and drink and be merry. But we drove down Whiskey Row and saw that. We stopped and ate lunch at a little pizza place.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
And it had vegan and vegetarian choices.
It was Two Mamas.
Two Mamas Pizza.
Two Mamas Pizza. Highly recommend if you go to Prescott. That's a very cute little place. The guy was very friendly that was waiting on us. And the bookstore was right next door, so I had to go there. And then we ended up going to the lake, and it was beautiful. Really cute little town. We really want to go back and explore some more and see what else there is to see there.
But to get to the subject of this week's video, terminology. Like a lot of other things, RVing and the RV community has its own terminology, its own language almost.
And if you're new to RVLife, or you just got your RV, or you're looking into getting it, and you get on these websites and Facebook groups and Instagram posts and things that you see, you'll see a lot of acronyms, a lot of words that you probably don't know what they mean to begin with.
And we can start off with actually RV because there's a lot of people, and I've seen it on social media a lot, that think it's an RV if it's a Class A or Class C and it's motorized. And everything else is a travel trailer or a pull behind or
fifth wheel.
They're all RVs. Every one of them.
They're vehicles used for recreation, so they're recreational vehicles.
Correct. So when you're talking about any of these classes, they're referred to as an RV. Now, I don't know if you've heard somebody refer to their storage area underneath as the basement. I can tell you that a while back, my sister, I had stated, actually it was during COVID, I had stated that I had stored and locked our toilet paper in our basement. And my sister responded on Facebook, "You do realize you don't have a basement, right?" Well, I had to correct her because that is what the outside storage areas are referred to.
And she has an actual sticks and bricks basement in her house, so
right.
She was thinking along those lines. So,
boondocking. Actually, we're going to cover all of the docking. Boondocking.
Boondocking is when you are located, camped out, parked somewhere that does not have electrical, sewer, water hookups. You have to plan ahead if you're going to be boondocking. You can't just make a reservation somewhere in a field and say, I'm going to park there. You need to make sure you have whatever kind of electrical hookups that you need, as far as either a generator, solar, whatever kind of electrical options you're going to use. You need to make sure you have plenty of water, whatever receptacle that is. If you have a van, you're going to have less water probably. If you have a trailer or a Class C or Class A, you're going to have your big tank. You want to make sure that's full. And sewer. So you want to make sure you have planned out how long you're going to be there for whatever your sewer options are.
And then you've got mooch docking, cracker docking, and wally docking. And mooch docking is very simple. You're going to park on a friend's land or at their house, and you're going to plug into their utilities. Cracker docking is parking at Cracker Barrel, which allows RVs. Wally docking
is parking at Walmart overnight. Cracker Barrel and Walmart both allow that. Some of them don't. There's some Walmarts that don't. I think most Cracker Barrels do. A lot of Cracker Barrels, especially in touristy type areas, have longer parking lots that are marked for RVs, so you can park there overnight. Be great to get up, go have breakfast at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're going to plan to be in a Cracker Barrel or Walmart parking lot, and Bass Pro Shops does it sometimes, places like that, call ahead. Make sure that they allow it, because not every one of them does.
And if you can, plan to eat a meal there, either dinner or breakfast, or do some shopping at Walmart, Bass Pro Shop, wherever you're parking, because they're giving that to you for free. So at least be kind and go in and spend some money at their establishment.
Okay, a bumper pull is a travel trailer. And that's pretty much all we got to say about that.
That's what we have.
Bunkhouse. A bunkhouse is a separate bedroom in a RV that is usually equipped with bunk beds. And it's usually considered for the kids. If you don't have kids, a lot of people will take that bunkhouse and tear it down and use it maybe for an office or a
Storage area.
Or something like that. Okay, in the opening, Cindy talked about diesel puller. She mentioned...
Pusher? Puller.
Well, either one, because we're going to talk about both. Diesel puller and a diesel pusher. And it's very simple. A diesel puller is a RV, a motorized RV, that has its diesel engine in the front. It's pulling. A diesel pusher is one that has its diesel engine in the back. It's pushing. Think city buses. A dog bone. It's an electrical connector that will allow you to, if your RV is a 50 amp and all they have are 30 amp connections, you can plug your 50 amp cord into the dog bone and it adapts to a 30 amp plug that you can use. If you're going to do that, of course, you have to bear in mind that you're probably not going to be able to run, if you have two air conditioners, you're not going to be able to run them both because you only have 30 amps. A dolly. Generally something that's connected behind a motorized RV that has a car on it, and you put your two front wheels up on the dolly and you can pull your car. Which, by the way, that car is a toad.
It's spelled T-O-A-D when people write it, but I think T-O-W-E-D because it's being towed. But it's a...
Just another one of those
silly terms that people say, I'm taking my toad. It's not a frog, it's your car that's behind you.
Now we're going to just cover the terms for different types of RVers. We have full-timers, we have part-timers, we have weekend warriors. And full-timers are just that. They live full-time in their RV. More times than not, they don't have a sticks and bricks to go home to.
Some of them are stationary full-timers, and some of them are like us, that most of the time when you hear full-timers, you're talking about people who are traveling in their RV, and that's where they live full-time. But a lot of people consider if they live in their RV in a stationary place that they're also full-timers.
Personally, I just think that turns the RV into your sticks and bricks. Yeah. But
to each their own.
Part-timers. These are the people that just use their RVs for vacations. A week away somewhere. Maybe a travel around the country, come back home. And then there's the weekend warriors. And that's pretty much exactly what you would expect it to be. The people who just use their RVs on the weekends. They go out maybe to a local state park or to a local RV park and spend the weekend out with their family.
And some of them boondock on the weekends, so it's more like camping than being in an RV. But I have a lot of nurse friends that do that are local nurses, that are staff nurses at different hospitals. I've heard them talk a lot about they have an RV and they go on the weekends, especially in the summer. They'll go on the weekends to different state parks, lakes, different places around for the weekend to take their kids out and have a good time with the kids.
And that brings up another term, which is glamping, which is very simple, glamorous camping.
That means different things to different people. Some people, that's if you're not in a tent, you're glamping.
Right.
If you have electricity, you're glamping.
And some people, unless they have electricity, water, and sewer hookups, they don't consider themselves to be glamping. Use accordingly. A Jenny is a slang term for a generator. That's it. Honey wagon. A honey wagon is something you're going to want to have if you're boondocking. And very simply, that is a container on wheels. Some of them are able to actually connect to the hitch on your truck. And you can pull them to the dump station and empty them. They are for you to empty your black and gray tanks into.
So if you're boondocking and you don't have sewer hookups, you're going to have to either drive your RV to a dump station to empty it, or you can use the honey wagon. What I want to know is, where did the name come from?
I guess
the wagon part I get, because it's got wheels and you're pulling it, but the honey part, if anybody knows where the honey part of the honey wagon came from, put it in the comments. I have no idea.
maybe they just thought that poop wagon wasn't politically correct.
I don't know.
A schoolie is just a slang term for a converted school bus.
You're seeing more and more of these, especially on Instagram. Young people get a school bus, renovate it. They have so much energy, and they get in there and rip
More
everything.
than us.
They get in there and rip everything out. And some of them are so nice. Some of them are very, very modern and have lots of amenities. And some of them are kind of basic, but I love looking at them.
You've heard us mention sticks and bricks a number of times. And very simply, that is a slang term for a house.
It's the opposite of an RV. Doesn't have wheels.
One of my personal favorites is the Stinky Slinky, which is much more aptly named the Honey Wagon.
Yeah.
The Stinky Slinky is your hose that goes from your black tank and gray tank to your honey wagon, or to
The sewer or
connection.
the dump station, if you want.
Or at the dump station, which would be a sewer connection also.
Dinner was full.
Yeah.
But that's what that is. There's only two more here. We got Winnie. And that's just a simple nickname for a Winnebago. You'll sometimes see a mini Winnie. And so just a small Winnebago.
I remember when I was growing up, Winnebago was the name. There was really,
Yeah.
at least from where I was in the east, that was the only kind of camper we ever saw, was a Winnebago.
Yeah, it was almost to the point where you could refer to any RV as a Winnebago. That's it. That goes that Winnebago.
Our last term we want to go over is work camping. It's a combination word, WORKCAMPING, work camping. It's people who go from place to place following jobs. It can be something as simple as being a camp host. A lot of places, state parks, different RV parks have camp hosts that they work there at the park or at the RV resort in exchange for their lot to sit their space to sit their camper on. Other places are like Amazon. There are a lot of people who do work camping with Amazon. They go to near the warehouses and work a seasonal job at Amazon, and they follow those different jobs that are open, take their rig with them, and that's where they stay while they're work camping, and that's how they pay for their travel.
Yeah, and some work camping situations where you actually be the manager or just a front desk person at the RV park. Some pay and give you your spot also, and some don't pay, they just give you your spot.
Which, with the cost of spots now, that's a lot of money.
And if you're considering buying an RV, if you're just getting into this and this was helpful to you, definitely check out this video where we talk about all of the steps you need to go through before you buy an RV.